Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Hens. How are you? So, reading Sarah Plain and Tall. I'm in the kitchen because the phone is charging. It's also FaceTime Wednesday. So, the phone dies very quickly when I'm on FaceTime. A couple of you haven't gotten my calls yet, but you will soon. Let's get to chapter 2. Okay. Hopefully, you've all read chapter 1 or you've actually listen to me reading it. Depends on how you want to do it, but I would follow along as I read. I think that's helpful. So we're on chapter 2. Caleb and Papa and I wrote letters to Sarah, and before the ice and snow had melted from the fields, we all received answers. Mine was first. Dear Anna, yes, I can braid hair, and I can make stew and bake bread, though I prefer to build bookshelves and paint. My favorite colors are the colors of the sea, blue and gray and green, depending on the weather. My brother William is a fisherman, and he tells me that when he is in the middle of a fog-bound sea, the water is a color for which there is no name. He catches flounder and sea bass and bluefish. Sometimes he sees whales and birds, too, of course. I'm enclosing a book of seabirds, so you will see what William and I see every day. Very truly yours, Sarah Elizabeth Wheaton. Caleb read and read the letter so many times that the ink began to run and the folds tore. He read the book about the seabirds over and over. Do you think she'll come? Asked Caleb. And will she stay? What if she thinks we are loud and pesky? You are loud and pesky, I told him, but I was worried too. Sarah loved the sea, I could tell. Maybe she wouldn't leave there after all to come where there were fields and grass and sky and not much else. What if she comes and doesn't like our house? Caleb asked. I told her it was small. Maybe I shouldn't have told her it was small. Hush, Caleb, hush. Caleb's letter came soon after with a picture of a cat drawn on the envelope. Dear Caleb, my name is Seal because she is gray like the seals that swim offshore in Maine. She's glad that Lottie and Nick send their greetings. She likes dogs most of the time. She says their footprints are much larger than hers, which she is enclosing in return. Your house sounds lovely, even though it is far out in the country with no close neighbors. My house is tall and the shingles are gray because of the salt from the sea. There are roses nearby. Yes, I do like small rooms sometimes, and yes, I can keep a fire going at night. I do not know if I snore. Seal has never told me. Very truly yours, Sarah Elizabeth. Did you really ask her about the fires and the snoring? I asked, amazed. I wished to know, Caleb said. He kept the letter with him, reading it in the barn and in the fields and by the cow pond, and always at bed at night. One morning early, Papa and Caleb and I were cleaning out the horse stalls and putting down new bedding. Papa stopped suddenly and leaned on his pitchfork. Sarah has said she will come for a month's time if we wish her to, he said, his voice loud in the dark barn, to see how it is, just to see. Caleb stood by a stall door and folded his arms across his chest. I think he began, then I think he said, slowly, that it would be good to say yes, he said, finished in a rush. Papa looked at me. I say yes, I told him, grinning. Yes, said Papa, then yes it is. And the three of us, all smiling, went to work again. The next day, Papa went to town to mail his letter to Sarah. It was rainy for days, and the clouds followed. The house was cool and damp and quiet. Once I set 4 plates at the table, and then caught myself and put the extra plate away. 3 lambs were born, one with a black face, and then Papa's letter came. It was very short. Dear Jacob, I will come by train. I will wear a yellow bonnet. I am plain and tall. Sarah. What's that? Asked Caleb excitedly, peering over Papa's shoulder. He pointed. There, written at the bottom of the letter. Papa read it to himself. Then he smiled, holding up the letter for us to see. Tell them I sing, was all it said. So that is the end of chapter 2. And next time will read chapter 3 and 4, and I'll put that together in one video. But chapter 1 was so long, 22 minutes, because of the introduction of the book, that I stopped the video for the first chapter. So that was the second one. I hope you're enjoying reading along and also learning some new things about how life was long ago, and that people communicated through letters in the mail because we didn't have telephones and they didn't have email or text messaging or YouTube or FaceTime or Google Meets. So that's how they communicated. And I'm really enjoying reading the book with you. And I will see you, some of you today when I finish my FaceTime calls, and some of you, most of you hopefully on Friday during our Google Meets. I'll also catch you on Flipgrid because I'm going to go check those next. All right, boys and girls, happy reading.